All right, media, once again, before we get started, if you do have any questions for Coach, please utilize the raise your hand feature here to get your question in the queue. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time to join us. If you would please start us out with an opening statement about the game.
Yeah, definitely. I give Uconn a lot of credit. They came out and they played well. Early in the game, we were trying to really just control tempo. We knew they want to play. Excuse me. We knew they want to play in transitions. We were trying to control tempo, and at times it worked. And at times, when they got out ahead of us, we just didn't respond the way we needed to respond. So to give them a lot of credit for just being tough. Very good basketball team. As far as we're concerned, when you come in these games and you have opportunities against great teams, you gotta find a way to get your team to respond. And I didn't get my team ready to respond today. We got to be able to compete at a higher level against the best in the country if we want to be there. And our goal is always to win championships, so we got to continue to get better and compete against the best in the country.
Coach, thank you so much for those comments. We'll now open the floor up for questions from our media. The first question comes from Mark Larson.
Hey, Coach Q. Obviously, as you said, they're a good team. Your team did not look like it's looked in many games this season, especially in the first game of the tournament. How much of that was them? How much of that was you? You know what was going on?
Well, a lot of it was them. They played a very, very good basketball game. I can't take any credit from them at all. I thought that at times we didn't execute, how we needed to, but a lot of it's too. We were really trying to control tempo, so we played differently. We were trying to get down the court and move the ball and get the ball side to side, get the ball inside, and for the first quarter, for the first 13, 14 minutes, it was fine. Then they kind of went on a run and we didn't respond, and we talked about responding to their runs, and we didn't do that.
Our next question comes from Doug Feinberg.
Hey, Q. Tough game, obviously. Just talk about Tiana. I mean, it's the last time she's going to play for you and what she's meant to you in this program with obviously all she's been through.
Well, where do you start? You're just a really tough kid. Had every reason to quit, and she didn't quit. She came back and gave it everything she had, and it's tough to see a kid come back and not, be able to compete at the level that she can compete at. It's really tough. It's really tough. But at the end of the day, that's my kid. She's like my daughter, and I was determined to let her go out on her shield this year, no matter how she played. I want her to finish the season out on her feet, and she deserves the opportunity to play. And I told her, 60% of her, to me, is better than 100% of anybody else in the country. They're really, really, really tough kid. I don't think the kid got enough respect for coming out this year and playing the way she played. There's a lot of days she just didn't feel good, but she never made an excuse. She came out, she played. Toughest kid I ever coached.
Next question comes from James Corrigan.
Hey, Coach. I know it's hard to take a big picture look right now, but after everything your team has been through this year with COVID and with Tiana coming back, what do you take away from this team, and what do you take away from this season?
Well, I mean, it was just a year of sacrifice. We sacrificed a lot from June 26th to today, and you have these kids that come play this year. You got freshmen that come their first year. College is not really college, and it's a really tough year. But it's what we love to do, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I was very fortunate to be able to coach this team and to coach basketball this year, and just had a great opportunity to win the championship this year, and we didn't get it done. It's really just disappointing in that. But at the end of the day, we all sacrificed to be here. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to play basketball and the coach's team.
Next question comes from Tim Nolan.
Coach, what does this program need to do to get to where Uconn currently is?
Well, I think we've been where Uconn currently is. We played in the championship game. So I don't think it's about that. It's about being able to continue to sign good players and be able to compete at a high level. We were in that championship game 4 years ago. So we're not, looking at it as that.
Next question comes from Patrick Gunn.
Hey, Coach. Digna fouled out near the end of the game, and she's been a 4-year starter for you. What has she meant to your program?
She's been consistent. She's been here for 4 years, and it's a kid that came here and played as hard as she could and gave it everything she had every night and every day. So just very proud of her effort, and just gotta give her a lot of credit just for sticking with it.
Next question is Mark Larson.
Hey, Q, you mentioned a disappointment and your team not being able to respond and having that opportunity again in front of it. How disappointing is it that it happened again like this and it turned out the way it did?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about getting better. We gotta get better. We want to win championships and we want to be there. So we know we gotta get better. I gotta do a better job of getting our players ready to play. And we gotta do a better job of competing for 40 minutes against the best in the country. So it's always disappointing. Every loss is disappointing. And so this one is no different.
Next question is Roshan Fernandez.
Hi, Coach. Obviously, this was your first recruiting class since the Final Four run in 2016. With Tiana, Maeva, Digna, and you guys obviously didn't come close to another Final Four. I guess beyond Tiana's story and everything, what went wrong?
Well, we've been in tournament every year, so I think a lot of stuff went right. We have opportunities to win a championship because you got to be in a tournament to do that, and we've been there. So we got to just continue to get better and compete at a high level.
Next question comes from Mike Curtis.
Hey, Coach Q, I know this wasn't how you wanted your season to end, but you told me that the way you build championships teams, you guys stack classes on top of classes. You got another good recruiting class coming in next season. How will this team look next season, especially without your seniors?
Well, we got good players coming in, and like I said, we got to stack classes. So we stack too. We have to just continue to get great players and players that's going to compete at a high level. I'm just hoping that we can come out and we'll be really young. Hopefully, we'll be young and eager to play at a high level and eager to win. So the season's over. So I'm already looking forward to moving on and getting to the next season.
We'll take another question from Roshan Fernandez.
Coach, what did you see from Paige Beckers today?
She's a very good player. We knew that coming into this game. She can score from all three levels. And she's a really, really good player. As a freshman, she's a first team All-American as a freshman and well deserved. She's a really good basketball player.
Next question comes from Patrick Gunn.
Yeah, Coach. At the end of the game, UConn decided to pull out its starters. Why did you choose to leave Tiana and the rest of the starters in the game?
We had 9 players.
Next question comes from Tim Nolan.
Coach, what in your mind was the turning point that kept it from being a tie game to when UConn really broke it open?
It was just transition defense, not getting back and stopping the ball in transition. They did a really good job of just really getting out and running lanes. And we didn't get back and get our defense set. And obviously, you gotta score the basketball. The only way you can answer runs is to make shots, and we didn't make shots.
Any final questions for Coach? Final questions? Next question will come from Patrick Gunn.
Yeah, Edwards and Nelson Doda had a really good game inside. What were they doing that allowed them to just get racking up points there?
Well, I think a lot of it is just when they were running offense, they were getting some dives to the post. We weren't getting that cover properly. We weren't getting our forward over and stopping the dive. They had shooters in the corner, so it's just not getting over and getting the dive. So they did a really good job of playing off each other, off of post feeds.
Final question goes to Mike Curtis.
Hey Q, I know Tiana's gonna pursue her professional career after this season. What would you pitch to a team that is looking to add someone like her?
Well, she's a really good player. She's a really good point guard, and at the end of the day, she's gonna get healthier and healthier as the days go on. So her better days are definitely ahead of her. So pretty much, she came back this year, and she's playing and getting all the kinks out now. And she's gonna have a long professional career. She's getting healthy, and she's a really good basketball player. She's a competitor. She's gonna do everything she can to win.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us for our press conference, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you very much.
We'll next be joined by our student athlete. Just as a reminder, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your questions in the queue for our student athlete. Tiana, thank you so much for taking some time to join us for our press conference. If you would, please start us out with an opening statement about the game.
Well, it wasn't how we thought that the season would end. And, Uconn is a very talented team. Like Coach Q said, like they were really good in transition. And when they got on their runs, it was difficult for us to respond to their runs. And so, yeah, it was hard.
Thank you for those comments. We'll now open the floor up for questions for our media. The first question comes from Mark Larson.
Hey, Tiana, can you just talk about the disappointment in that locker room? I know you guys came in and you told us, yesterday you felt confident about this team. I know you guys felt good. You started out well enough. Talk about how disappointing it is it ended up that way.
Yeah, it was really disappointing in the locker room. Not much was said. We didn't really talk much. It was just kind of silent and yeah.
Next question comes from Patrick Gunn.
Hey, Tiana, so what were you thinking as you left the court today?
I just couldn't believe that I was finished playing at Syracuse. I was just thinking everything that everyone's done for me at Q's, and it just sucked not being able to beat them and move forward.
Next question comes from Tim Nolan.
Tiana, you've been very confident and proud of your team all season. What do you think of your underclassmen and players returning next year? What do you see in that group going forward?
Yeah, we're very talented, and this is why it hurts so much, is because I really know how good we are. And Camilla Cardoso, she is an amazing post player who any point guard that gets to play with her should be over the moon, ecstatic, super happy, because she catches every pass and she pretty much finishes every layup. So she's an amazing player, and Everyone else is really good too. Like Priscilla, she didn't get to come to this tournament, but she can knock down threes. Syracuse moving forward, they're going to be really good.
Next question goes to James Corrigan.
Hi, Tiana. I know it's difficult to take a big picture look now, but when you look back at everything you've accomplished with returning from cancer and having the season you did, leading the nation in assists, can you put into words just what you accomplished this year?
I would say that I'm proud of myself. Just because, it was really difficult to come back. And I just don't feel like I was the same. But I'll just say that I'm proud of myself.
Take more questions for our student athlete. Next question goes to Roshan Fernandez.
Hi, Tiana. I just wanted to ask what you saw from Paige Beckers today. Obviously, you were matched up with her.
Yeah, she's a great player. She's a great athlete. She can shoot the ball really well, and she has teammates around her that help her and that pump her up, and they're just a great team overall. She's a really good player.
Next question goes to Mike Curtis.
Hey, Tiana. Coach Q said there were a lot of times throughout the season where you just didn't feel good, but you still went out and tried to give it your all. What kept you going through those times?
Well, I could not be there's worse things people go through in their life, and me getting through it and coming out on top, that was it's just a blessing to be able to play the sport. The other day I was telling the girls, we could complain about things all we want. There's people out there that can't play. There's people out there that can't walk, don't have arms, don't have legs. And so I think, that's what pushed it. I have this opportunity. I came out on top. So, I can't complain about anything. I just have to go out there and just, if I'm struggling, I'm just going to push struggling.
Next question goes to Mark Larson.
Tiana, you guys started out well enough. First quarter was okay. Second quarter, you're right there. When did it start to slip away? What were you feeling there?
Well, they're just really good in transition. So even when you're down by 15, you don't feel down by 15. You feel down by 8. So I guess it just got away kind of quick, and their transition points were really good. If we missed, they just pushed it down our throat. And, Coach Q told us that before going into that game, that we need 3 players back. And we did sometimes, but not enough. And they're just such an amazing team that we have to communicate. We have to do all the little things. And I think in the first quarter, we were communicating with each other really well on defense. We were talking, we had energy, all that. And I just think that it kind of disappeared a little bit when they started getting on their run.
Did it kind of break your spirit?
Yeah, I would say yes, because we're so good. And I feel like we believed in each other and we believed in us so much that when this happened, it was kind of dang, we didn't think at all that we would be down by 15 at halftime. And even in the locker room, like we were saying, we're still in it, but it was just hard. Like it was really difficult to get that back because they're such a great team. Emily was telling me the other day, with great teams, when you're down by 10, you're really down by like 30 because they're so great. It's extra hard to come back with good teams.
Next question goes to James Corrigan.
Tiana, Holly Rowe tonight paid tribute to you during the broadcast, herself, of course, being a cancer survivor. How do you plan on continuing your advocacy through your professional career?
Yeah, so I do want to start my own foundation to help those who can't afford treatments, because I know there's a lot of people out there that, struggle to pay for that. And I want to do like public speaking and help those who are going through breast cancer, because it's really no one will ever understand until only the people that have really been through it, like my mom and my dad, like they won't even understand, but they were there with me the whole time. So really just to help people get through that and speak to them about my journey and what I learned about myself.
We have time for 2 more questions. The first one goes to Joshua St. Croix.
Hi, Tiana. I know it might be tough to think about it in this time, but just wondering, if you have any kind of favorite moments from this season and, just things that you're going to remember the most fondly when you look back on your last year at Syracuse.
Well, it was really hard because of COVID. We couldn't do much. Trying to think. Oh, I would say at the ACC tournament when Camilla hit the buzzer beater. I wasn't playing, but I was on the bench, and it was just such an amazing moment. I was running out there and cheering, and I was super happy. So that was a really good basketball moment. I would just say my relationship with Coach Q off the court, it's grown a lot, and he's really been there for me through everything. The first game of this tournament, he literally was yelling at me the whole game. And after, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel awkward. But obviously that's just in the game, and I know he does care about me a lot. But yeah, he's really been there for me, and Syracuse will always be a second home to me. And yeah, I can't even explain how much Coach Q means to me.
Our final question goes to Mike Curtis.
Hey, Tiana, speaking of Coach Q, he mentioned since you're about to pursue your professional career, that whatever team gets you, they're going to get a better version of how you played today. Mm-hmm. Have you made a decision whether to try to enter the WNBA draft or play professionally in Australia?
Yeah, I want to enter my name into the WNBA draft. That's always been my goal and dream. And, I know I'm not the same player that I used to be. And a lot of things that I need to work on my game. But I do believe that I can be an asset on a team, and I can help them in whatever they need. But yeah, I'm just, that's always been my dream and something that I'm still going to go for.
Tiana, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you play. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This concludes our press conference.